How you doing? Mr. DJ here, resuming the countdown of my fantasy playlist. We're getting closer to number one at number six, up from number 11. Nelson, Gunnar, and Matthew Nelson with "After the Rain," the follow-up to their massive number one hit. "Can't Live Without Your Love and Affection." I'll get into that in just a minute. Fantasy playlist of December 22nd, 1994. They came out with a few radio-friendly songs. There was "Love and Affection," there was "After Rain," and there "Do." I remember the beginning of this song. Do I love you, baby? Yeah, yeah, more than ever. That was in the spring of 1991. Had that up there on my fantasy playlist. Boy, remember those days 25 years ago. The album was called "After the Rain," but boy, this took a year. This took a while for it to develop. Gunnar and Matthew Nelson, the son of Ricky Nelson. Ricky Nelson, the legendary Ricky Nelson, "Believe What You Say" and "Stood Up." And I'm trying to remember another song he did, hot rock and roll lick he did back in the 50s. There was "Stood Up," and there was "Poor Little Fool," and oh well. Anyway, let's get to Nelson, Gunnar and Matthew Nelson. They teamed up with a guy named Mark Tanner, who would eventually produce this album, songwriter, and they wrote some songs together. They approached an artist and repertoire legend. His name was John Coloner. I'll just pronounce it as Coloner. It's Kalodner of Geffen Records. Boy, they worked this guy. They submitted song after song to this guy, John Coloner. They said, "Hey, how do you like this song?" And Coloner would say, "This is a good song, man. I like this record, but I don't like it enough to sign you guys." They worked up an album's worth of songs. Matthew and Gunnar did, along with Mark Tanner. And John Coloner just kind of led them on a string a little bit. They got frustrated. And then the turning point came when Matthew and Gunnar and Mark Tanner, they wrote "Love and Affection." That was it. This song had magic to it. As a matter of fact, they believed in this song so much, they had to play it for John Coloner. That was risky. They didn't have an appointment. They did not have an appointment set up with Coloner. Their managers were against them doing this song for Coloner without an appointment. And if they did this song for Coloner, without an appointment, and it was a subpar song, they ran the risk of him of being totally rejected. But they believed in this song too much. They had to play this song for Coloner. They literally burst into his office. And I got a quote here. I believe it was either Gunnar, it might have been Gunnar, or it could have been Matthew, who said, they told John Coloner, they said, you're going to sit down and shut up and listen to what we're going to play. And they played him "Love and Affection" acoustically. Coloner, that's it. I love it. He signed him to a contract. The album "After the Rain," there's a lot of stories to this album because Gunnar had to learn how to play the guitar. I believe it was Gunnar who had to learn how to play the guitar. They had some mix-up with the producers before they got Mark Tanner to get in to record the album. But anyway, it paid off in the long run. The album "After the Rain" went to number 17 on Billboard's album charts, top 200 album charts. It was on the album charts for 64 weeks. It's pretty phenomenal. 64 weeks. That's like what? I'm trying to think, 5 or 6 years? Was it that long? My goodness. But this album turned out 3 or 4 radio-friendly records. The group was hard, but it had that pop sheen, which made the melody, the record, acceptable to the masses. "Love and Affection" went to number one. This is a classic mass appeal record. So is the song "After the Rain," coming in at number 6 on my fantasy playlist. And I believe that's all I got to say about this song. So here it is. Well, you'll find the video on YouTube. "After the Rain" on my fantasy playlist, December 22nd, 1990, at number 6.